deep state hand behind sacking of Asian democracies. Deep state toolkit behind the coup in Nepal. Debating tonight at 8 p.m. Opposition draws Dhaka, Kathmandu, New Delhi parallels. Deep state's arm attempting to destabilize India. Nationalists unite together and say never in India. Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
मैं मध्य प्रदेश में जो एकेडमी है वाटर स्पोर्ट्स की, मैं वहाँ प्रैक्टिस करती हूँ। मिस्टर पीयूष कांति बरोई और वो इंडिया के चीफ कोच भी हैं, वो मुझे एमपी एकेडमी में लेकर आए। मैं थोड़ी मिडिल क्लास फैमिली से हूँ। भोपाल का लोकल होते हुए भी उन्होंने एकेडमी में रखा, रहना खाना सब चीज़ उन्होंने करवाई। उन्हें लगा कि मैं अच्छा करूँगी और मैंने किया।
Opposition draws Dhaka, Kathmandu, New Delhi parallels. Deep state's arm attempting to destabilize India. Nationalists unite together and say never in India. Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
मध्य प्रदेश में जो एकेडमी है वाटर स्पोर्ट्स की, मैं वहाँ प्रैक्टिस करती हूँ। मिस्टर पीयूष कांति बरोई और वो इंडिया के चीफ कोच भी हैं, वो मुझे एमपी एकेडमी में लेकर आए। मैं थोड़ी मिडिल क्लास फैमिली से हूँ। भोपाल का लोकल होते हुए भी उन्होंने एकेडमी में रखा, रहना खाना सब चीज़ उन्होंने करवाई। उन्हें लगा कि मैं अच्छा करूँगी और मैंने किया।
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate. Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
On the show tonight, why this rubbish about this being a Gen Z protest in Nepal is absolutely untrue and the greatest falsehoods. This is mobocracy at its worst. And at 9 o'clock tonight, why some evil people in India want what happened in Nepal and Bangladesh to be repeated on the streets of New Delhi. But we say, hashtag never in India. And ladies and gentlemen, some people are calling what has happened in Nepal fashionably a Gen Z protest. What nonsense is this? Look at the words they use. Gen Z protest. They say 19 dead. The BBC writes 19 dead after Gen Z protests erupt. And India Yesterday media group says all about the move that sparked Gen Z revolution. Somebody says, who is Balen Shah Gen Z protesters' favorite for Nepal Prime Minister. You see, ladies and gentlemen, this is also a deliberate strategy. Call killers, murderers, Gen Z, and try and give some kind of a moral legitimacy to it all. I call them a lynch mob. For a lynch mob, they are and nothing else, ladies and gentlemen. 4 visuals which will prove to you what I'm talking about. First, full frame. Nepal's former Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba being beaten and later last minute rescued from the clutches of these people and taken away. Visual number 2, ladies and gentlemen. The wife of a former Prime Minister, Jalanath Khanal, set ablaze, succumbs to her burns, burnt alive by the people the boring broadcasting corporation calls the Gen Z protesters. How cool is it to say that these killers and murderers are Gen Z? Visual number 3. And this is a lynch mob, nothing but a lynch mob. Nepal's finance minister, seen running on the streets, ladies and gentlemen, as people chase him, punched and kicked in the video. Ladies and gentlemen, another visual out there of a man being beaten to death by the lynch mob. This visual of Nepal's finance minister running on the street stripped of his clothes, people being killed and hammered, their skulls being broken, on the streets of Kathmandu by a murderous lynch mob. But there are some fools, some absolute fools, malicious fools, who call this, ladies and gentlemen, who say that this is a Gen Z protest. It's not, it's madness, and it should be called madness. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an anti-democracy lynch mob. We should be very careful about what has happened, because all institutions are being set ablaze in Nepal. And we have some fools in India, some malicious fools who say that what happened in Nepal should happen in India. Let me show you the visuals. The parliament of Nepal, ladies and gentlemen, broken into and set on fire. And yet there are some people in India who say this should happen in India too. The Supreme Court, ladies and gentlemen, of Nepal set on fire. Political party offices all set on fire. Videos of the destruction are all going viral on social media. Private residences of the president, prime minister set on fire. Houses of former prime ministers all set on fire. And the wife, the heart-rending visual of the wife of former Nepal Prime Minister Jalanath Khanal, who succumbed to her injuries. Hours after her house was set on fire, she was pulled out and she was burnt alive. And ladies and gentlemen, I wish Rahul Gandhi had the sense to tweet today that what happened in Nepal should never happen in India. But for some curious reason, Rahul Gandhi has not done that. Ladies and gentlemen, I find a very uncanny resemblance with what happened in Bangladesh some time back. I want to run visuals and a few comments on the comparison between what happened in Bangladesh and what happened in Nepal. I believe the American deep state is behind both without a shred of doubt. This is the CIA deep state playbook which is in operation in South Asia. India is being surrounded by governments planted by the Americans all across Sri Lanka, Colombo, Pakistan, of course, less said the better, but Bangladesh as well. I want to run the visuals, ladies and gentlemen, here, comparing what has happened in both cases. In both cases, Bangladesh as well as Nepal, students have been made some kind of a face of the coup. But they're only a face. They have been staged as pawns in the hands of somebody from across the continent who is pulling the string. The visuals in Bangladesh and the visuals in Nepal are strikingly similar. The coup architects, the architects of the coup, ladies and gentlemen, Yunus in one side and the rapper mayor of Kathmandu in the other. The architects of the coup, one Yunus, seen there in the visuals with Joe Biden, given the highest of honors by Joe Biden because he betrayed his own country. And similarly, ladies and gentlemen, there's a 35-year-old rapper. He sings rap music. I don't know if his visuals are here. Here he's the mayor of Nepal. He's the America's favorite. And he's poised to become the Prime Minister of Nepal. A man who cannot win an election in Kathmandu will become Prime Minister of Nepal. In both cases, ladies and gentlemen, these are plans of America, and they have been put in the job by America. Yunus was in America, in fact, on the day when the coup happened in Bangladesh. The Kathmandu mayor, who seems only too happy to be the Prime Minister there, is the next man, a rapper, a Zelensky-type figure. These people are often taken to America. God knows who funds them. But they apparently get a lot of funding, a lot of support. And that man on the right-hand side of your screen is the man who Donald Trump wants to be the next Prime Minister, ladies and gentlemen, of Nepal. All very cool, all very Gen Z, but it makes no sense. The fact of the matter is, these are American plants. The third point of comparison is the army takeover. If you see the visuals from Bangladesh and you see the visuals from Nepal, the army, obviously, which is part of the whole game, comes in to evacuate the stranded political leaders who have won elections, whether it be Oli. We may not like Oli very much here in India, but he's been an elected Prime Minister of Nepal. And Sheikh Hasina may have been close to China, but she's an elected Prime Minister of Bangladesh. In both cases, you have the chopper visuals of the choppers coming in, the army stepping in to sort of rescue and evacuate the leaders, almost as if on prompt. Ladies and gentlemen, we must remember that the strategic interests of both the leaders, Sheikh Hasina and now former Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, were very strong with China. Now, I have no love lost for the Chinese, ladies and gentlemen. And obviously, China was playing the game. Here are the army stepping there and helping the political leaders, the elected political leaders, flee from their own countries. But the fact of the matter is that Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli had recently attended China's highly symbolic military parade in Beijing on the 3rd of September 2025. Here are his recent visuals with Xi Jinping just a few days back. This has irritated Trump, and Trump has got Oli out. Similarly, and you might find it almost unnatural, the similarities between both cases, Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina had gone to meet Chinese President Xi Jinping and her Chinese counterpart Li Qiang in Beijing on July 10th, 2025, just 25 days before her own government was toppled. In both cases, Sheikh Hasina and KP Sharma Oli had been making significant outreaches to the Chinese. Now, Sheikh Hasina also kept her own line open with Narendra Modi, but the fact of the matter is they were not on America's side. America wanted a presence. America wants a presence. This is her meeting after Prime Minister Modi was sworn in for the third time, and the first visit of a foreign dignitary to India after Prime Minister Modi was sworn in was that of Sheikh Hasina. So, ladies and gentlemen, whenever leaders in South Asian countries have grown close to India or close to China, they become a threat to America, and America needs a pivot, and that's why they've carried out these fake Gen Z protests, which are not fake Gen Z protests. These are coups that have been carried out on American deep state CIA instructions in Nepal and Bangladesh in order to ring-fence India. The last point you must consider, and those are of times. These are very well-planned social media protests. This is a pure CIA plan. Money is put in, social media is used as a tool, the Gen Z is paid off, violence is started. Within 2 or 3 days, tremendous instability is created. The police has to be called out, then paramilitary has to be called out, then the army has to be called out. Then there is complete public violence, and because the state cannot respond with the kind of violence which is unleashed by the so-called protesters, the leaders have to flee, and there is a complete takeover. This is what Trump is doing in our region. In Bangladesh, the protests in Bangladesh turned violent on 15th of July. Sheikh Hasina was forced to resign on 5th of August, 20 days all over. In Nepal, it took just 36 hours to topple the government. Is it possible this happened without any foreign coordination? Is it even conceivable that America is not behind this? Finally, I want to go back to India, and I want to tell all the people of the country, be very careful. there have already been 4 attempts to create mobocracy in India. And here are the visuals of them. If you don't remember, after Narendra Modi got sworn in, there was a sponsored land acquisition protest in 2015, the next year. There was an attempt to bring down the government in Delhi with the first attempts at mobocracy. This is land acquisition protest 2015, ladies and gentlemen, and chaos had happened at that time. Then Shaheen Bagh. And then there was the Bharat Tere Tukde Honge slogans. The engineering of Shaheen Bagh happened in 2020, 2021. Bharat Tere Tukde Hain, these are the visuals of that, happened in 2016, 2017. And then there was the fake farmers, Greta Thunberg protest, which happened in 2021. On 4 occasions, there have been full attempts in India to try and bring down the government through mob violence. The anarchy playbook of the CIA is very real. You can fool yourself and believe, no, it's not true. All this is made up. But I'm telling you, learn to connect the dots. And therefore, when you hear a misleading headline saying Gen Z protests in Nepal, remember it is not Gen Z. It is murderous, it is violent, it is anti-democratic, and without a doubt, it is foreign sponsored. Let's debate.
Rajalakshmi Chitrakar, the wife of Nepal's former Prime Minister Jhalanath Khanal, burnt alive at her house. Nepal's Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister Vishnu Podel thrashed mercilessly. Another video shows him being chased on streets, being kicked and pinned to ground. Former Nepal Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba helplessly sitting in a field after being beaten up until army rescues him. Even his wife Arzu Rana Deuba, the current foreign minister, not spared. Country's top institutions set on fire. And after vandalizing, they wielded guns, fired shots inside the parliament premises. Presidential palace breached, vandalized and damaged. The so-called protesters looted the weapons from police. Not a common street, but the house of Prime Minister set on fire, vandalized, looted.
Hello guys, viral.
Celebrating their victory, the rioters celebrate with no remorse, no shame. KP Oli, the Prime Minister who lost his chair within 36 hours, seen boarding the army chopper. His prime ministers also rushing to army barracks to save their lives. Security forces completely failing as the rioters take over. The last 36 hours in Kathmandu have been nothing but a complete collapse of law and order and government machinery.
It's a very concerning situation in Nepal. And with us, we have, our panelists, Madhav Nalapat, Savio Rodriguez, Ratan Sharda here. We have Santosh Mehrotra, Pola Rao, Ganga Sahai Meena, all here. And my first question from Kathmandu, I have Dr. Pramod Jaiswal, who's Research Director at the Nepal Institute of International Cooperation and Engagement. Now, you say that you are in support of the student protests. Are you also in support of the burning to death of former Prime Minister's wife, the burning of the parliament, the burning of the president's house, and the burning of the Supreme Court? Are you also in support of the lynching of your former Prime Minister, Sher Bahadur Deoba? And the burning alive of the wife of former Prime Minister Jhalanath Khanal. This is not some Gen Z protest. Do you know what you've started?
Shall I comment, Arnab?
Yes.
Hello.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead, Dr. Jaiswal. I can hear you.
Okay, shall I start?
Yeah.
Arnab, you have shown number of videos of today. There are almost 7 videos, but you didn't show a single video of yesterday. You are showing people lynched, but you did not show a single video of 19 people being killed yesterday. I think it's unfair, Arnab, that when 19 people were killed...
You are therefore of a view. That a little bit of lynching, burning is completely understandable.
I know your behavior. I was in India. I know your behavior. When I talk, keep your mouth shut. Let me speak for 2 minutes. You didn't show a single video of 19 people being killed yesterday. Not people. Children. Arnab, how old is your son? Young kids, 15, 16 were killed. 19 of them. A people is lynched today. 19 were killed yesterday. Who killed them? The state killed them. So I support the student movement, which was for corruption. I did not support all the violence that happened yesterday,
Now,
and that is
Dr.
happening.
Dr. Jaiswal, 1 minute now. One minute now. Let me. I heard your response, and I need to ask you a next question. My only limited point to you is this. My limited point to you is this. My limited point to you is this. See, all of this, Dr. Jaiswal, listen to me. Dr. Jaiswal, control yourself. Learn to speak properly. Have you not seen the visuals? Why are you getting worked up? Why are you getting worked up? The wife of the former Prime Minister has been burnt alive. Put those visuals on it. Let him see. Let him see. I will not keep my mouth shut. You better keep your mouth shut. You listen to me. I am asking you what is happening in your city, in your country. Do you take responsibility for what has happened? Have you been able to light a fire that you cannot stop? Don't teach me manners. Why are you getting angry when I show you these visuals? You want me to censor these visuals? Why are you getting worked up? Your Prime Minister, your Parliament has been burned down. Your Supreme Court has been burned down. Your Parliament has been set ablaze. Your Supreme Court has been set ablaze, and you must tell me whether you hold yourself responsible.
Delhi is not burning, so don't get heated. Don't lose your nerve.
No, so you are saying you have a right to burn your country.
90 people died here. I can lose nerves. You should not. So listen, have patience.
Listen, you're the one losing nerve here, Pramod. Pramod, you're the one losing nerve here. I'm only asking you a question.
Wait. I will not tolerate your nonsense because you have said misinformation.
Because I'm asking you a question.
Just now you said Mayor of Kathmandu, Balin, has not won a single election. Who gave you this information?
Okay, let me ask you. Obviously, he's won an election.
Ask the people.
But let me show the pictures of the rapper who's going to become your Prime Minister.
Do you have access to Google? Do you have access to Google? Who?
No, don't tell me about access to Google. Tell me, would it be wrong to say that the visuals of the rapper who's going to become your Prime Minister, he would be very convenient to the Americans?
Arnab is a liar. Arnab, your pant is on fire. Arnab is a liar. Wait.
You're behaving like a child, Pramod.
Arnab is a liar. Arnab is a liar.
You're behaving like an absolute child.
No. You learn to behave. Indians have not taught you how to learn.
You basically are behaving like a child today. Don't do this liar, pants on fire thing. I am asking you whether you find it, whether you're happy with the way things have turned out.
Arnab, if Indian behave like this in Nepal, I'll slap them. So learn.
No, listen. I mean, your indecent behavior. You're threatening to lynch me. Your use of violent behavior. I mean, like, why are you behaving like this? I'm asking you whether you're happy with the way things have turned out.
Let me answer. Keep your mouth shut.
Are you happy with the way things have turned out?
I'll answer. I have the answer. You're not letting people listen.
Yeah, but don't get worked up. Just relax, breathe, all right? Just breathe, relax, take a deep breath, calm down. Calm down.
I need 3 minutes.
First, calm down, Pramod. Pramod, you're not seeming like you're all right. Show the pictures of Deoba.
3 minutes. You keep your mouth shut and I'll start my speech. Number one, you have not showed a single video of 19 people being killed yesterday. Arnab, ask your Indian friend to Google and find out it's available. Number one. Number two, what happened today are very unfortunate. You saw few videos.
Show the videos.
More than 50 houses of top leaders of Nepal are burned. They're hiding in army shelter. They're all.
Where are the visuals which are asked you to show?
We are very, very sorry for that. Number three, what you mentioned, role of deep state, it might be true. I don't have evidence. Delhi might have more evidence because what you said is true that the Nepalese Prime Minister Kepoli was in China. He met Xi Jinping, he met Putin, he met Kim Jong-un, and he came back. So obviously, I don't know what deep state have interest. I don't know. I have limited information. You might have more access. Last is army accused. You say army is taking a. You put army in a very negative light. Army is playing a very important role here at the moment. They are playing a role as a negotiator. You know, Nepal army has never played a role where.
Okay, so I'll ask you just one point. Pramod, now I heard you there. And now it is important that you hear my next and very simple question. Nepal, no, you say, now Pramod, I'll let you speak. Now you listen to my point. Let's be decent towards each other. I have no personal animosity with you. All right? I have no personal animosity with you. All right? Okay? I love Nepal. It's a great country. I've reported there myself in 2001.
I spent all my life in India.
I've reported there when the royal family massacre happened, you know. I lived there in the Yeti Hotel for many weeks. I love Nepal, great country. I have great admiration for your country. And we share a lot of cultural and religious similarities, right, as Hindu majority nations. That is not the point. My concern is over one thing. See, I couldn't care less for the Oli government. Pramod, okay? I am not too fond of governments that sidle up too closely to Xi Jinping, and maybe he's paid the price for that. My point is, you are a sovereign country. Your Supreme Court upheld the government requirement saying that Facebook, Insta, WhatsApp, YouTube, X need to comply with Nepalese registration, Nepalese grievance redressal, and Nepalese content moderation rules. In America also, these companies have to follow American rules. Your Supreme Court, your Oli government, elected government blocked the handles. The Nepal Supreme Court upheld the government requirement. Okay? And now what has happened is the protesters say we disagree with the blocking of the sites. And on that basis, we burn down the Supreme Court. Of course, there are other ancillary issues of corruption and the lack of popularity of the Oli government. I have no doubt about it. But there is a process. There is a process. If this becomes the playbook, Pramod, be logical about it today, okay? If this becomes the playbook, tomorrow Nepal will lose its sovereignty. Any foreign country, any foreign tech company can come together to create a sense of social imbalance. Your High Court, your Supreme Court, your elected governments will cease to matter. The excitement of an insurrection lasts for 48 hours. But the impact on the country is felt for decades. In that sense, I am fully sympathetic with the students who lost their lives, but you see, governments are also caught in this bind, where this is exactly what happened in Bangladesh. Tell me, Dr. Pramod, do you not see similarities between what happened in Bangladesh in June 2024, July 2024, and what has happened in Nepal in September 2025?
Okay.
Please.
Arnab, let me bring you here. How it started. First, the youth of Nepal started putting videos on social media that how our leaders are corrupt, how they are having wonderful lives, big houses, wonderful cars. Their children are having wonderful time in New York, Amsterdam, and traveling around. When those videos were posted on social media, then the government came with what you talk about ban and all. They had different excuse for that, number one. That's why the demand of the student was not what you experience today. It was social media ban removal, number one, and two was corruption. Then they were welcomed with 19 bullets. And then what happened? They asked for resignation of the Home Minister. Home Minister resigned. They also asked for resignation of Prime Minister. He refused. Social media ban was removed. They failed to address the demand on time. Today, it was a very unfortunate day when they failed to. The Prime Minister did not deliver on time. When they did not resign, they started burning the house of.
But why was the wife? Why was the wife of a former Prime Minister burnt alive? Why were armed automatic rifles taken into your parliament premises? These are not protesters, Pramod. Are they? If you don't mind, I'll welcome some other panelists, please, because this should not be a conversation between you and me. I have nothing adversarial with Bangladesh or Nepal, but I need you to hear the other side also. Can I bring in Professor Madhav Nalapat for a moment? Can I just bring in another voice? You just hear another voice, please. Pramod?
I'll give enough.
Pramod, just hear Professor Nalapat. We are concerned. We love Nepal. We are very concerned about the violence today and yesterday. We don't want Nepal's sovereignty to be compromised. Professor Nalapat, how do you view this?
Look, Arnab, I'd like to point out that this highlights the importance of, well, where some of us may dismiss it, but Gen Z. And the reality is that even the Catholic Church, which has survived an institution for so long, they have now canonized a Gen Z individual, Carlo Acutis, as a saint. And that is a recognition of the power of Gen Z. Now, fortunately, our government, our Prime Minister in particular, understands the importance of Gen Z and gives due respect to Gen Z. But may I point out that we cannot at the same time ignore some fundamental causes behind Nepal, behind Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. And that was, unfortunately, widespread corruption at the highest levels. I don't think you can argue that the Gotabaya Rajapaksa family was honest. Neither Sheikh Hasina, unfortunately, and I mean, nor has this current the government that just now is no longer there been honest. So I would only like
Professor Nalapat, the most corrupt political leader in the world today is Donald Trump. The most corrupt political leader who would take a sidekick and make some side money on the basis of a crypto deal with Bangladesh is Donald Trump. But Donald Trump brings out the army to defend himself on the streets of Washington. So I don't understand, corruption is, I am telling, okay, they are corrupt, but is this the way? Is there not to be a process? I want to bring in Santosh Mehrotra. Yes, there is corruption in Nepal. Everybody knows that's corruption in Nepal, and there has been incipient anger. But is this the way to deal with it? Would Washington allow this to be done within Washington? Santosh Mehrotra, please.
Mr. Goswami, I think we have to take every country in its own terms. And I'm glad that you have at least one spokesperson, one person from that country here. 6 of us are not experts on Nepal. So we shouldn't pretend to be browbeating our good friend, Ms. Dr. Jaiswal from there. Point 1. Point 2, if we even appear to be browbeating Dr. Jaiswal, the one person on this show who is from Nepal, we will be blamed and fingers will be pointed at us as Indians that India is always paying big brother. So let me put those points aside. Let me move to the substantive issue here. I think if we are focusing on some foreign powers' role, we are first forgetting that in all 3 cases, Sri Lanka first, second Bangladesh, and third now Nepal, the movement has been led by very disillusioned young people who have been rendered jobless by extremely corrupt and extremely misgoverned countries. And that's the reason why we are where we are in these 3 countries. I would want to know how is it that our own RAW, which must have been operating there, was not informing us, the Indian government. The same obviously transpired in Bangladesh. Let's not, overplay as victims the foreign power hand. We've seen this going on from Mrs. Gandhi's time.
I'm sorry.
Let's not keep
I'm sorry, Santosh Mehrotra. Santosh Mehrotra, one minute. Santosh Mehrotra, I want to come in here. You see, I still am on planet Earth, unlike you who's on planet La La Land. The reality is this. The reality is this. I'll tell you why. The reality is this. You have to be in La La Land, and you have to be on La La Land and La La Planet and La La Solar System. You know, there is this NGO called Hami Nepal. One minute. You think I don't know what's happened in Nepal? Hami Nepal is founded in 2014. Okay? It has neither got the funding footprint nor the public infrastructure to mobilize at this scale overnight. It is not possible unless Hami Nepal is networked into external capital, foreign and foreign digital platforms.
What about China?
Well, what about China? Now my point is, my point is, has this happened without funding?
Ask Dr. Jaiswal.
Has this happened without funding?
Playing a hand there?
Ratan Sharda, I'll get everyone in. Ratan Sharda.
Arnab,
coming to you, Pramod, just give me a moment. Yeah,
I will pick up from where Mr. Mehrotra took off. He said that we should not interfere, we should not act like a big brother. I totally agree. But when did it start? It started when Nehruji did not give due respect to Nepal, refused to work closely with them when the king said he wanted to work closely with them. Then we have progressive, the leftists, who overturned the traditional monarchy of Nepal and impose their own progressive idea of having a democracy when the nation may not be ready. So we put the entire Nepal politics in the hand of Maoists, in the hand of extreme leftists who went through the lap of Mao. So from there, and if we say Nepal has only gone down and down, and the politicians of Nepal, worst kind of people who could not even come on unanimity about constitution, nor about governing, and their continuous change. So this is the background on which we should look at Nepal, neither as a big brother, not as a small brother, but as somebody who actually created an atmosphere which led to the situation because we interfered in Nepal at that time, or we did not give them due respect, nor that institution the due respect. Our overbearing attitude of socialist and leftist people in India was the cause of upturning of the entire Nepal society. Now coming to today, I think it is more close to Sri Lanka than Bangladesh. See, Bangladesh had a very strong jihadi army. They had a very strong base which they utilized with the help of overseas powers to throw Hasina out. The pressure was too much. They already had huge backing in the huge network in Bangladesh. In case of Sri Lanka, it was typical a case of somebody playing the strings and then throwing the whole government out. And who did they get? They got a president who could not get elected in the first place. So is it going to be the fate of Nepal? That is my fear. Are we going to back up some kind of a very strong new government, or are we going to see a long chain of anarchy, which is my worry? Because that will also reflect on how China interferes, how other parties interfere,
See, Ratan,
and what
Ratan
Bharat will
Sharda,
do.
this
And
is happening
remember,
in
Modi came up with idea of Lipu Lake when he wanted to divert the attention.
This is happening in a particular point. You see, Pramod, you are close to the ground. You obviously have your views. You know the individuals. You know the players. I don't. But I would just like to tell you how I'm looking at it, and Savio will make a comment and you come in. Nepal has a huge amount of strategic significance, sandwiched as it is a landlocked country between China and India. Two major global powers who will be the number 2 and number 3 economies in the world 3 years from now or 2 years from now. Now, therefore, whether Nepal likes it or not, whether you like it or not, Pramod, the fact is America will want a pivot in Nepal. So if you have a Zelensky kind of guy, and I'll run pictures, Zelensky used to come on television, reality TV star, a comedian dancing around, and similarly your present mayor, I give him full respect, but he's just a mayor. And he's very, 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 very close to the Americans. The American ambassador keeps meeting him. He's known to be very close to the Americans. Can we run his pictures, the next likely Prime Minister of Nepal? Now, if you have a person of that inexperience and lack of political clout, a Zelensky kind of figure in Nepal, can we run the visuals, please, producers, so people know who I'm speaking about, full frame, properly. If you have this person, now in charge of Nepal, from being a rap star, he becomes mayor, and now he becomes prime minister. My question to everyone is not undermining him, but this person is the right kind of person who's very flexible. You have this person, he becomes America's puppet, and there is a power vacuum in Kathmandu, back to the screen. This opens the place for a pro-America coalition to gain leverage. Washington gets an ability to counterbalance Beijing along the Himalayan frontier. You have a weak prime minister who's supposed to be a Gen Z figure. And just like in Bangladesh, where Hasina's exit reshuffled Dhaka's China tilt, the Nepal crisis hands over Nepal to Washington with a strategic reset. This is the consequence. Savio, your comments before I go back to Pramod.
I empathize with the Gen Z of Nepal. I empathize with the people and the families who've lost their lives. But unfortunately, please understand, you are nothing but a pawn in a larger geopolitical game. That geopolitical game is fought between the United States and China. The entire game that you're seeing in Sri Lanka, the game you saw in Bangladesh, the game that you saw in Pakistan, the game that you're seeing in other Asian countries is nothing but a fight between US and China. The fight between the deep state in the US and the deep state in China to have accessibility and control of the economic interest in those countries.
And the strategic location.
And the strategic locations over there as well. So, unfortunately, yes, corruption was an issue, and rightfully so, the Gen Z, which is the energy of a nation, has reacted, just as the Gen Z in Bangladesh. But unfortunately, you are not seeing the larger game. The game is the utilization of these nations as a pawn. In fact, India too is a probable target of the next stem of deep state interests. They have tried it 3 times before.
Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and Nepal.
Correct. And next, India. What is it that they want? There is a playing field between the US and China. They are using these territories as strategic control areas that they want from an economic point of view and a military point of view and a strategic location point of view. The role point where it went deteriorated, and which is why I don't support it at this point of time, is when you all decided to resort to extreme violence. Yes, the deaths of the students was wrong and could have been dealt with differently. But unfortunately, you all have turned this into an absolute mayhem and violence.
No, the fact also is that there was excessive state violence against the protesters.
Of course there was.
Both in Dhaka and in Kathmandu. And in fact, in Kathmandu, people were angry because the police fired directly at the students with live ammunition.
That is
killing
correct.
19 students and injuring 300 in a single day. Right? It was worse than Dhaka. But we must now look at the consequence of all this. Now, Pramod, the consequence is very more dangerous. 2 days of violence, extremely bad. Now what happens? Who settles things? Are the people of Nepal going to be in control of their own destiny?
Okay, Arnab, you read few lines of my books because I'm expert on geopolitics, and what you said about India, China, and Nepal is my books because I spent 10 years in one of the most infamous university that you hate, is JNU. I was a student of there. So my PhD was in Nepal.
I have no problem with JNU. I have a problem with the tukre mindset.
So I understand what you said is true. Hasina, Gotabaya, Oli, they are all corrupt. We know that. You also said that there are external factors. China played a role in Nepal. A few days ago, you were making noise that China is interfering into Nepal, which is true. China does that. China is a great power. India does that. India is other power. US does that. So I don't deny that these countries engaged in Nepal, they have their interest. They are doing that. I don't deny that. I'm also not denying that Nepal can be a pawn of geopolitical game, but my question is, where is India, the traditional partner? If you are a regional power, why are you shouting today at Nepal for your failures when you have failed in Colombo, when you failed in Dhaka, when you failed in Nepal? What was India doing when deep state were there? So this is the question to the Indian government, which you can have another show on that. Coming to your other question, I'm sad with what is happening in Nepal. All the visuals that you say are very disturbing. I'm disturbed. You can sense that on the television. I'm also disturbed what I witnessed yesterday was 19 of them killed. You know, our parliament is on fire. It's a very beautiful parliament gifted by Chinese. Our president house is in fire. You know, our Supreme Court is burned down. Our top media is in fire. I'm really worried about that. You know, I don't know. I'm talking to you. My house can be on fire. I'm worried about that. What I'm also asking you to is also talk about those students who risk their lives and talk about corruption. You know, what they asked, social media removal. I mean, was it so challenging that you had to shoot 19 bullets to get social media ban removed? Or not, it's a switch, you can put it on and you can remove. Or you can talk, it can resolve. I mean, bullet was not the answer. Dialogue was the answer. I didn't say that social media should have been removed. Maybe government can continue what they want, but they should tell the student, why don't you come? Let's celebrate. Let's talk to you. Why do you want social media? Can you create another fake book, net book, Nepal book, any book like that for you? Can you create WhatsApp, Nepal app and all those? The government should that is anger. My anger lies there. Let me finish. Second is that, you know, what is happening here is that none of the powers here, the anger is with the major political parties. What Nepal wants is that we have top 3 parties, the same top leader, they are revolving all the time. In 20 years, they are in power, turn by turn. Arnab, you are in same show for 10 years, but we got 10 prime ministers in 10 years. You are running the same show. We got 10 prime ministers. So with that musical chair, we didn't want it. You know, the frustration of Nepal is 10 times more than what you can expect and what I've expressed, nothing less.
Pramod,
So there's huge frustration in
Pramod,
this country, and
Pramod,
people want change.
Pramod.
People want change.
Pramod, I have no
Dr.
issues.
Jaiswal,
No,
did you expect
can I get in Pulla for a moment and Ganga Sai? I mean, I want to say one thing. Obviously, there is no smoke without fire. There has to be an element of people being provoked. But the speed and nature and the extent of the violence, the speed of these so-called protests and the nature of the violence and the use of arms and ammunition and murders and lynching that has happened here makes me completely convinced that this is not a students' protest.
Arnab, only 1 second.
Students don't.
Arnab,
No.
Never. Arnab, never in the history of Nepal, 19 people were killed in one day. Never in
Yeah.
the history of Nepal.
Yeah.
We
But-
overthrew 200 years old monarchy, but 90 people did not die.
Yeah,
in one day,
but
Arnab.
Nepal does
We got
spark
democracy.
violence. Violent
We have
incidents
got all
happen.
kind of protests. We
This
have defeated
time,
the British.
this time,
Arnab, we have defeated-
this
we have
time.
never
Okay,
colonized. We defeated the British.
so I
But
think we'll have to be
19
very
people
watchful,
did not
right?
die in a single day.
We
Arnab.
have to be. See, you are a country with a strategic importance. You have to be careful before a 35-year-old rapper takes over your country and decides the future of a landlocked nation between India and China. This is not a situation that's good for Nepal's own political stability. Pulla Rao, what's your take? Pulla.
My take is very simple. 2008, a gang took over Nepal. Before me, Mr. Dalapat, Mr. Sharda, and Mr. Savio spoke, and a lot of sense they made. They took over, they harassed India, they insulted India, they brought China to our borders. Everything is going on. And you can't compare Nepal with this 3 crore people with 150 crores. Some American Facebook fellow can't play here. I think you should bring this back to the correct perspective. There's nothing wrong if a mayor who is a rapper becomes a leader. There's nothing wrong. This is a new age. A television star becomes a president. How did Donald Trump become? You see, you forget all of that. Is this what these people have done to their country? Within a month, every Nepalese politician had Rolex watches. They were called, ask my friend from Nepal. They amassed wealth. They changed the whole structure of Nepal. There's no longer strategic value, as you say, because it is a society which is sundered. When it was under the king, it had one voice. These people replaced the king. 15 years, 15 governments. Is that stability? And won't people be upset?
So what is your solution? You don't like elections, you don't like democracy, you are saying that we are in a hurry.
No, I'm saying...
We want to change the government overnight and this is the only way to do it.
Let us not shed tears for the past, the wicked past of the last 18 years. Let us hope for the future. That a rapper who is a Maithili cultural activist will show the right trend, right instinct.
Yeah, Savio.
Pullaji, I am not talking of the past. I'm talking
Savio.
of the future.
Whenever there has been a violent protest that has originated, why is it that the social media, which is the new deep state weapon, is always behind it? Whether it was Sri Lanka, whether it was Bangladesh, whether it was Manipur, whether it was any other place, now you have it in Nepal. Why is the social media the trigger?
Social media of today is the television and
because the
radio
social
and
media
pamphlets of
is
50 years
able to
ago.
capture the mind of
Just
the Gen
technology.
Z. And social media is a deep state
It
asset.
is only technology.
Okay,
it's a deep state asset.
now here's a question here. Here's a question. What is the guarantee that under American influence, if he becomes prime minister, this 35-year-old Kathmandu mayor, he will not allow an American military base to be set up inside Nepal?
You see, we have to see.
No, there's no you see. I'm looking at it from our country's perspective and Nepal.
For us,
No, our
that's not a bad
country's
idea.
Then Nepal becomes an American satellite state.
No, it has happened well.
better
The
than
gang
Mao
was
satellite, no?
against India, against peace for the last 18 years. Ask my 3 friends to say I'm wrong. What all Nepal did, they sheltered Pakistan
You are an
terrorists.
interesting
They
man
gave
here,
Bangladesh
Pulla.
terrorists.
You are saying everything should be controlled from Washington. Nepal's
Nobody says
Supreme
it should
Court,
be
Nepal's
controlled
High
from
Court does not
Washington.
matter.
It should not.
Nepal's Parliament does not matter. You have a
India
perception of
should be
corruption,
respected.
and hence you must have
India should be
mobocracy.
respected. India should be respected by whoever takes over in Nepal, and they will do it.
I am
They
telling you,
can't
of course,
survive
they will be
otherwise.
respectful to India. They will have to be. That's not the point, and we'll also be respectful to them.
cannot
We must not be blind to what has happened. Ganga Sai, Meena, can I get your take on what's happened? You're muted, Ganga.
No, I think we should see all the incidents from the Nepal's perspective. and we should distinguish between the deep state and the people's movement. And our friend from Nepal is clearly saying that it's a people's movement, and we are showing only the one side of the story. And we must examine what inspiration is driven in this movement, how it happened. When we discuss about our anti-corruption movement, it was a great movement because it changed the government. We never talk about any deep state where...
No, I'm sorry. There was... No. 1 minute. Narendra Modi won an election 4 years after India against corruption. Please don't make up facts, Ganga. Don't give me this tukde mindset reply, please. There was a legitimate election. Am I right, Madhav?
India is a free democracy.
Rubbish.
And that's why, for example, the BJP tally fell. The BJP tally fell very sharply in the last election.
We got to close.
And the sign that democracy is alive and well in India. Prime Minister Modi is under attack by Donald Trump precisely because he does not function in accordance with constitutions. So the reality is these three leaders function in accordance with
what happened on the 8th of September
independent-minded person.
What happened on the 8th of September?
I see no danger of this happening in India.
What happened on the 8th of September with 19 people being killed on Monday is terrible.
Arnab, 19 young students.
19 young students being killed on Monday when live ammunition was fired at them is terrible. And Pramod, I know the facts. More than 400, 500 were injured. I can say that too. But what happened today is even worse.
But Arnab,
and I am concerned at the strategic stability of Nepal. I'm sure, Pramod, you are as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I on the other side tonight, why I'm concerned at some people in India wishing that what happened in Nepal happens in our country. We say, #never in India.
Quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
QS&THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
थोड़े में ज़्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा। सबका राजा और मसाला।
भारत की अपनी दुकान इंडिया सोना,
अपने देश का सामान
इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना,
इंडिया सोना।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला।
सिप सिप जीरा सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
इशारा समझ ले बहके कदम ले चले किस गली जानबूझ के है खोने की पड़ी इशारा समझ ले इशारा समझ ले हवा में फिजा में नजारा में इशारे संग हो जा तू मेरे इशारा समझ ले इशारा समझ ले इशारा समझ ले
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
Now, back to the debate with Arnab.
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
QS&THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है, अरे मेरे राजा।
इसको
Opposition draws Dhaka, Kathmandu, New Delhi parallels. Deep states arm attempting to destabilize India. Nationalists unite together and say never in India. Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Ladies and gentlemen, what do some people in India want? They want that what happened in Nepal happens in India. And what has happened, ladies and gentlemen, in Nepal? The wife of a former prime minister, ladies and gentlemen, the wife of a former prime minister, Chula Nath Khanal, was set ablaze. These are the visuals. She succumbed to her burns. This was not a student's protest. It was a riotous mob. And let us say collectively today, hashtag never in India. Some people say that what happened in Nepal can happen in India. In Nepal's former Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deoba was beaten by the protesters, but was rescued from their clutches later and taken away by the army. Can we stay only with the visuals, please, Aditi, so that I can continue with my lead story? Thank you so much for that. Some people say that what happened in Nepal should happen in India. In Nepal, their finance minister was seen running on the streets as people chased him. He was punched and kicked on video. He was later stripped of his clothes and chased into a river by angry protesters. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a Samajwadi Party leader who said and who tweeted, "With delight, Nepal today, tomorrow India. ऐसी स्थिति किसी भी देश में पैदा हो सकती है." Therefore, what this man wants is for the Supreme Court to be burnt down, because that is exactly what has happened in Nepal. How can they talk like this? How can some politicians be so irresponsible? We have the visuals, I think, producers, of the Supreme Court being burned down. Some other people take delight, like Sanjay Raut, who again takes the line, Nepal today, ये हादसा किसी भी देश में पैदा हो सकता है. Therefore, what Sanjay Raut wants is the parliament burned down, because that is what has happened in Nepal. Show the visuals, producers. The parliament of Nepal burned down. And some Indian politicians say this can happen in India. The question is not today only what Indian politicians want to happen because they can't win elections in India. The question is what America wants. America wants a rapper mayor. A rapper mayor to take over Nepal. You may believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, this man is going to be the next Prime Minister of Nepal. He is 34, 35 years old. He does rap music. You can listen to his music. He dances. Very close to the Americans, and they are going to make him Prime Minister of Nepal. America wants an unelected Yunus-type person to keep power away from any elected government. America basically, ladies and gentlemen, wants to create a situation of Yunus and rapper-type figures, and therefore they want power without polls. The whole idea of America is to seize power in countries around India, to try and contain India, and their policy is to have power without elections. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a time in our country's history when we must be very careful about mobocracy. What is mobocracy? Mobocracy is a state of anarchy where mob rule prevails, meaning that decisions, lives and actions are determined by an uncontrolled crowd or a majority acting like a mob rather than with rational debate, democratic institutions, or established legal frameworks. Mobocracy is when chaotic, impulsive, and violent public opinion dominates over reasoned leadership or lawful governance. Mobocracy is the real worry. And listen tonight to the man who I believe keeps encouraging, endorsing, and propagating the thought of mobocracy.
There is a fire that is starting in Bihar. How would you react if something 3.5 times Europe suddenly went non-democratic? Right? That's happened already. The so-called defenders of democracy, which are the United States, European countries, seem to just be oblivious that a huge chunk of the democratic model has come undone.
It is a dead economy. Are you people not aware of this? आपको ये मालूम नहीं है कि इंडियन इकोनॉमी डेड इकोनॉमी है?
While Rahul Gandhi takes that kind of a line, Trump is also angry, and Trump will look for every opportunity to try and contain India and target India. And the reason for this is because the entire world, the global media, global opinion makers are saying that Narendra Modi, through his tact, through his leadership and through his style, and by refusing to give in to the pressure of American tariffs, has put Donald Trump in his place. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, whether we accept it or not, there is a tug-of-war between Donald Trump and Narendra Modi. There is a context in which all of what has happened in Nepal is happening. Just listen to this.
For many years, it was a one-sided relationship. Only now, since I came along, and because of the power that we have with tariffs, India was charging us tremendous tariffs, about the highest in the world. They were about the highest in the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, we were supposed to play 4 sound bites. We can play them now, Aditi.
भारत अपने किसानों के, पशुपालकों के और मछुआरे भाई बहनों के हितों के साथ कभी भी समझौता नहीं करेगा। और मैं जानता हूं व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझे बहुत बड़ी कीमत चुकानी पड़ेगी, लेकिन मैं इसके लिए तैयार हूं।
We've made a lot of progress, and as you know, we put a 50% tariff on India on oil. They're the second largest. They're very close to China in terms of the purchase of oil from Russia.
भारत के किसान, भारत के पशुपालक, भारत के मछुआरे, ये हमारी सबसे बड़ी प्राथमिकता है। भारत के किसान, भारत के मछुआरे, भारत के पशुपालक, उनसे जुड़ी किसी भी अहितकारी नीति के आगे मोदी दीवार बन के खड़ा है.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the coming few days, we have to be very careful. I'm not saying that what happened in Nepal can never happen in India. It will never happen in India. But we have to be careful of people who have shown the proclivity of promoting violence in the past. Listen to this.
ये जो नरेंद्र मोदी अभी भाषण दे रहा है, मैं आपको बता रहा हूं, 6 महीने बाद, 7-8 महीने बाद ये घर से नहीं निकल पाएगा. हिंदुस्तान के युवा इसको ऐसा डंडा मारेंगे, इसको समझा देंगे कि हिंदुस्तान के युवा को रोजगार देने के बिना ये देश आगे नहीं बढ़ सकता है.
You also have to be extremely careful of people who go to foreign countries and ask for intervention either from the Pakistanis or through others, and who always play on creating a sense of doubt which leads to mob violence in India, like in Bangladesh, like in Nepal.
हमें ले आइए, इनको हटाइए. अच्छा, तो इनको आप ही हटा सकते नहीं है. हमें ले आइए, इनको हटाइए. अच्छा, तो इनको आप ही हटा सकते नहीं है.
More fundamentally, we also have to be careful to not let any situation emerge where certain leaders in the name of religion provoke any community to hit the streets.
I am cautioning and warning this government. If you bring and make a WAF law in the present form, which will be violation of Article 25, 26 and 14, it will lead to social instability in this country. It has been rejected by the entire Muslim community. No WAF property will be left.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have to be watchful because signs of mobocracy are emerging everywhere. I also want to put a context to all of this as we see the visuals of the violence in Kathmandu. A few days back, an American C-17 aircraft landed in Pakistan's Noor Khan Air Base. It lingered for a few hours and then it took off. It was said that this aircraft, this US Air Force C-17 aircraft, went to Pakistan for flood relief. But many people have raised eyebrows over it because there is a potential shift in American-Pakistan military ties. The secretive nature of that visit of the American Air Force plane, coupled with the strategic importance of the Pakistani Air Force base where it landed, raises eyebrows about deepening cooperation between Pakistan and America on the military front. Therefore, my appeal to all fellow Indians is to be extremely careful and watchful over the next weeks and months. After all, we are battling the world's largest economy and we are the world's most populous nation. This is not a battle without consequences. We have to watch what happened in Bangladesh and Nepal. I'm sure they will turn around in the way the Maldives government has turned around and understand that America is their best friend. But Donald Trump is not a man to be trusted, and he can go to any extent now. Ladies and gentlemen, a quick recap of what has happened.
Within 36 hours, the fabric of democracy came undone in Nepal. And yet, it is the same script at play in Kathmandu that we saw in Dhaka last year. Suddenly, from the shadows emerges an unknown figure who now is touted to become the next top leader. It's as if word to word, the fate of Kathmandu was written in Dhaka. The only credentials these mysterious figureheads possess is proximity to the United States of America. Their entry begins with the exit of the incumbent. They come on the back of anarchist mobs hell-bent on murder and arson. Neither the parliament nor the Supreme Court. They don't stop at anything. And when things get out of control, the same Gen Z leadership vanishes into thin air because the army steps in. Every nation in the subcontinent that refuses to bend the knee to the United States of America orbit has succumbed to this exact same fate. Nepal is the fourth nation in the subcontinent that has fallen to this same playbook. First, it was Imran Khan in Pakistan in 2022.
कि अभी हमें 8 मार्च को या उससे पहले 7 मार्च को हमें एक अमेरिका ने एक बाहर से मुल्क ने, मैं नाम मतलब मेरा कि किसी और बाहर से मुल्क से हमें मैसेज आती है, और मैं इसलिए आपके सामने ये मैसेज की बात करना चाहता हूँ और मैं इसलिए लाइव भी कर रहा हूँ कि ये एक किसी आज़ाद मुल्क के लिए जिस तरह की हमें मैसेज आई है, ये है तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर के खिलाफ ही सिर्फ, लेकिन ये हमारी कौम के खिलाफ है.
Then it was Rajapakse in Sri Lanka in 2023. Then there was the ouster of Sheikh Hasina in 2024 after she refused to cave in on the US pressure for a military base in St. Martin's Island. And now in 2025, it's Nepal that is left burning. All of this taking place on the backdrop of the biggest tariff war of the United States of America against India. Nepal fell exactly in 1 month after the MAGA 50% announcement. Just months ago, Nepal was gripped by pro-royalist protests, with the return of the Hindu king seen as a major boost to ties with India. And overnight, a ban on American and other social media apps triggers the worst coup seen in Nepal's history, with classic US deep state imprints all over it. India is putting up a lone fight, surrounded by hostile regimes all around. There is a battle for control of the Indian subcontinent, and India in which America is seen to be playing a direct role. The big question remains, is there a larger conspiracy afoot to destabilize India?
Tonight on my debate, I want to go straight to the Samajwadi Party first. Pradeep Bhati ji, why is the Samajwadi Party saying Nepal today, tomorrow India?
Thank you, Arnab, and good evening to all. Why all our anti-parties in hurry to paint us anti-national or a narrative building is done, we won't help the country. We want to discuss we do not want to discuss the speculative part, but my point of view is on the realistic reasons behind the unrest and what could be the corrective actions to be taken so that it won't replicate in any other place or may it be in India. The root cause needs to be identified and the corrective actions needs to be taken. Very unfortunate that, and it's also alarming that the mass violent protest happened in our neighborhood, damaging the public property is becoming new normal in our neighborhood. May it be Bangladesh, Sri Lanka or Myanmar, and now it's Nepal. We are being responsible. Opposition also have to evaluate, analyze, and warn and caution the ruling party and are not facing the similar issues. My question is, we are also facing the issues which are related to the public. Similarity of situations, we have to analyze that. May it be a poll rigging to corruption, may it be high unemployment, may it be high inflation. These are the core issues which has brought down these governments. No matter how much government hide behind the real numbers or juggle these numbers, but the truth prevails someday or sometime.
What someday or sometime? No. What do you mean someday or sometime?
These numbers which government is sharing, the next government is coming in the whenever, as soon as the new government will be coming, all the numbers, the real numbers will come.
What real numbers? What real numbers? What real numbers?
Real numbers related to unemployment, real numbers related to inflation.
Okay, so right now inflation is at an all-time low.
No.
GST is bringing prices down.
Inflation is.
One minute. Just one point.
No,
See, Pradeep ji, we are on a very strong and intellectual debate on this subject. Okay, I believe in democracy. I believe in elections. I believe in the Supreme Court. Even when the verdict of the Supreme Court may go against our individual or political interests, we have to accept our institutions. What has happened in Bangladesh and Nepal is an attack on the institutions and an attack on the electoral system. And both countries have fallen prey to American influence. And we know the situation today. Therefore, I find it alarming that your party should say what happened in Nepal will happen in India, almost wishing that we are ruled by the mob. I want Nalin Kohli to open the debate on the other side. Viewers, if you believe in me and if you believe this thought is dangerous, please use the hashtag never in India. Never in my country.
You are putting the wrong narrative, Arnab.
Okay, why? 1 minute. Yes, Pradeep, what is wrong with Nalin? Make the windows.
No, you are painting as anti-national. Let me complete.
I have not used the word anti-national.
No.
I have not used the word anti-national.
You are picking words. If somebody is talking about corruption, if somebody is talking about unemployment, if somebody is talking about inflation, if somebody is talking about poll rigging, that doesn't mean that somebody is anti-national. He is very much national and demeaning any institution, every institution, what is happening today, and demolishing every fundamental values and rights of principles of the democracy. We won't let that happen. And if we are a opposition which has values, and we understand that what is our rights and where country is going. So we will raise our voice.
No, you have to. Okay, now Pradeep, may I? First of all, I'm not using any words.
Asking these questions.
Pradeep, first of all, I'm not using any words. I'm not using any words. What I'm saying, however, is that we have a procedure, a system through which we run our country. A country, largest population in the world, we say we are not going to listen to the system, but the country will disintegrate. I'm sure you don't want that. As I come to Nalin, my question is this. Suppose the idea is to spread disaffection. You have a right to spread social, political disaffection through democratic means. You can say that I believe that the electoral process is wrong. The right approach to file an affidavit, go to the Supreme Court, prove your case through the due legal process or disprove your case, accept the verdict, and that's the way we move. Now, if you were to say, no, we believe that we are losing because the system is against us, and we are not going to believe in the Supreme Court, then what happened in Dhaka or in Kathmandu can be artificially engineered anywhere in the world. Nalin, that's why I am very concerned that some people are so keen to have a Nepal-like situation repeated in India. Nalin.
No, I think the bottom line is, it doesn't matter what is the color of a mob. A mob is a mob, and a mob sees no reason. It does not then, in its movement, recognize who's in front. It doesn't see whether it's a BJP or a Samajwadi party or a Congress or another party. A mob just sees a target, and it has no time to reason whether that target is an innocent target or someone they genuinely are going after. So therefore, when somebody says that today Nepal and tomorrow India, it's a message of doom. It's not a message of hope. It's not a message of positivity, it's a message of negativity. And one has to pause for a minute. Unfortunately, the opposition parties are somewhere losing the plot. It's a democracy. The BJP hasn't been in government for 60, 70 years or 50 years. The BJP has been in government in spells. 77 Janata Party experiment, 89 VP Singh experiment, then broadly Atalji in 2 tenures, 98, 99, 2004, and then Narendra Modi ji. He won the imagination of the people in 14, 19 and 24. So therefore the BJP is actually the one which has not been in power so much as compared to the Congress and its allies. So what is this negativity in a democracy that if I'm not in power, it means that the institutions have collapsed? If I'm not winning an election as I desire to win an election, therefore India should be a victim of a mob violence. If I'm not winning an election, then what are America and Europe doing about it, as Rahul Gandhi ji said when he went to Cambridge, or was it Oxford? So, or as Mani Shankar Iyer ji goes to Pakistan and says, "Inko hataiye, humko laiye." So somewhere you have to draw the line, and that line is not being drawn. You can't celebrate Sindoor. You can't stand with the army and the armed forces when there's Operation Balkot. You can't stand with the army and unequivocally say we are proud of our soldiers, we are proud of our air force, we are proud of our navy, when you have a surgical strike or a Balkot or a Sindoor. Everything is no, it should be colored because the BJP is in government. The BJP is in government because the people of India have elected the BJP and because they see that Narendra Modi ji is the person to lead the country. So therefore, I would respectfully say that what the message of the Samajwadi Party is, it is a message of doom. It is a message of negativity. It has nothing to do with positivity. And of course, it doesn't matter Generation A or Generation Z. Everyone can see what is the thinking of the opposition parties.
No, I think the comments which have come in are not limited only to Samajwadi Party. The Uddhav Sena, which presently is finding it difficult to win a municipal election, is also dreaming of an insurrection in India. I remind you, you lost some local election, sub-municipal election also you could not win. What they said is the following. Sanjay Raut, unelectable Sanjay Raut says, Nepal today, ये स्थिति किसी भी देश में पैदा हो सकती है, सावधान. What is the intention? What is the intention? Jyotsna, listen to the use of the words very carefully. And then listen to the... Yes.
If I may just add to it.
Yes, Nalin.
Just one sentence. Basically, you're making a very important point, Arnab. It is not just Sthiti. You have to look at the context of a statement coming from a leader in the larger context of what his statements are on a daily basis. So one can't say that, no, I have a message of positivity because it is framed in a positive message. It can be sarcastic, it can be dark. If you look at the overall context, every day, these are leaders who are speaking in unison. So there is a link between the Samajwadi Party and in a pattern, and Shiv Sena. There is a pattern. And in a pattern, it's clear for all to see.
I call upon members of the Nationalist Collective to realize the importance of the situation and join our Never in India campaign. Kishore Tiwari.
That's a party line. Let me correct you first. I have initially said, and in the opening statement I've said, you are looking at the speculative part. This is not the party line, what I said. The issues are important, what I said in my opening remarks.
Pradeep,
so don't paint that this is
Pradeep Bhatiji.
Definitely we do not support the anarchy in anywhere.
Okay, so I'm glad you're getting an opportunity to clarify that.
Don't, if somebody has said in the party, it doesn't mean that's a party line. What is important, what is behind, what issues he was raising. He was at the same time what he has
What
said
issue?
I
mean, what issue?
What are the issues?
Just one.
Party is hoping for anarchy in the state.
See, I am only appealing.
Your channel, that what I want to object.
Okay, Pradeep, I also object to your understanding of what I've said. What I'm saying is this, and I'll take 10 seconds and General Bakshi and all can put it better. We are a very large country now. We are in the middle power to great power range. We are going to be the third largest economy. almost closing in on $19 trillion, purchasing power parity. The world will want influence over India. Indian political parties must come together and not try and have a hope in their heart that the Tiananmen Square, Tahrir Square, Kathmandu, Dhaka situation happens in India. That would be anti-national. Kishore Tiwari, why did Sanjay Raut say that?
Arnab, initially I will think such thing will never happen in India. As far as democratic status and constitutional rights are concerned, we are with the government. And the things which happened in Pakistan, then in Sri Lanka, then Bangladesh, and now in Nepal is disturbing. And we are with the government, and we are, as far as the anarchy is concerned, it is unfortunate development, and the pictures you are showing, it will never happen in India, that I can assure you. That I am assuring you, and Nalin, this is very unfortunate. As far as the democratic setup are there, we are with you, that is final. We want India should be strong one, and nobody can touch us like this. No American power or a deep state can.
Okay, I'm glad you've said that. You can share your thoughts with Sanjay Raut also, Jyotsna, and Aam Aadmi Party. Yeah.
Arnab, first of all, when whether it was Samajwadi Party or the other senior gentleman who was talking about, like, we haven't said that, we are not anti-national. तो ऐसा क्यों स्टेटमेंट आया कि जो नेपाल में हो रहा है या कहीं और हो रहा है, there is a possibility in India. Why isn't a statement coming from them saying that, simple, India is stronger, India is in a thriving democracy, period. ये बात क्यों उनके मुंह से नहीं निकल रहा अर्नब जी? When they say that we are national, when they say that we are with the country, when they say that, we love our country, then ऐसे सब चीजें क्यों नहीं आ रही हैं? See, I'll tell you one thing, Arnab ji. Whatever these people claim, saying that इंडिया में ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है, अब मोदी जी के बारे में बोलेंगे या फिर एनडीए के सरकार के बारे में बोलेंगे या कुछ भी बोलते रहेंगे, मगर the one thing they forgot is यहाँ पे बैलेट है, यहाँ पे डेमोक्रेसी है, वो बाकी सब देशों में गायब है. और दूसरी चीज है, यहाँ पे इंडिया में विरोध का अधिकार है, बिल्कुल अधिकार है, मगर हिंसा का वायलेंस, हिंसा का जो लाइसेंस होता है ना मानव जी, वो नहीं है. We have to understand that. Everybody can oppose, everybody can say that I don't like Modi ji, I don't like the government, I don't want to be supporting the government. Yes, but at the same time, you don't have the right to have, you do any violence. अब यहाँ पे एक और चीज है, ये लोग बोलते हैं कि हो सकता है जो नेपाल में हुआ वो कल भारत में हो, बट कैसे होगा बताइए अर्नब जी? We are the ones who are going very strong in terms of our FDIs. We are the ones who are talking about startups. We are the ones who are talking about entrepreneurship. We are the ones who are talking about young entrepreneurs. We are the ones who said that our younger generation are the ones who are the most mature, broad-minded, successful, powerful, stronger. Indian youth has the most mature and broader perspective. Leave apart these clans. I'm sorry Arnab ji, I have to leave apart this clan of Congress, Indie Bloc, जो भी है, इन लोगों की जो मैच्योरिटी है, इन लोगों की भी जो नेशनैलिटी है, वो मैं बात करना भी नहीं चाहती, मगर इंडियन यूथ, भारत का जो युवा है, those are the ones who are so strong, who are more powerful. They know what is good for the country. They know how to be nationalistic. They
then
know
why are people? Then why did the Aam Aadmi Party say something on similar lines, Anmol? And General Bakshi can come in. On 9 September, आप's view, लोकतंत्र के अंदर आप जनता के अधिकारों को छीनेंगे तो उस पर फिर विद्रोह होता है. इसलिए नेपाल से हमारे देश के आकाओं को भी सबक लेना चाहिए. Artificially trying to draw a parallel. Anmol, why? What do you gain? We created a world record with 64.2 crore active voters, including 31.2 crore women, 68,000 monitoring teams, 1.5 crore polling and security personnel, almost 60% polling in Kashmir. Anmol, you should be watchful with your words. I mean, I think the opposition should be watchful with its hopes.
Arnab ji, what Mr. Sanjay Singh ji referred was he urged the Indian leaders to learn from Nepal and ensure citizens are heard, their grievances are addressed and their welfare prioritized. It was not about any unrest, it was about accountability, it was about governance. We know that a democracy is of the people, for the people and by the people. Citizens elect a government with a belief that their voices will be heard, that their grievances will be addressed, and they'll be provided with a solution. But when their concerns are not addressed, then frustration naturally builds up. What we are witnessing in Nepal is very unfortunate, because in a democracy, citizens and government must act responsibility and within the frameworks of law. But what we are witnessing in Nepal is chaos. So what he meant to say was कि सरकार को जनता की आवाज सुननी चाहिए. When अभी a TDP spokesperson said about कि युवाओं का देश है, भाई साहब जिन युवाओं का देश है उन युवाओं पे ही तो केंद्र सरकार लाठियां बजा रही है जब वो एसएससी के धांधलेबाजी पे प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं रामलीला मैदान में. जिन युवाओं का देश है उन्हीं युवाओं को तो आज एम्प्लॉयमेंट नहीं मिल रहा. अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट
Anmol, Nalin is responding, and I clarify tonight. Nalin is coming as a senior advocate of the Supreme Court, not as a BJP spokesperson. But yes, Nalin.
Why is BJP?
Let's, sometimes the duplicity of what people say is nauseating. And I'm again repeating it so that it's not lost. The duplicity is nauseating. Let's just look at the entire progression of the Aam Aadmi Party. It came on the promise of India against corruption. It came as a movement in which I can say, Arnab, how many people I know personally who were supporters of other political parties said we deserve to give a man called Arvind Kejriwal a chance for being an IITian to coming out here on honesty, talking about India against corruption. What did that move into? Ki main arajak hu. Let us stop the Republic Day parade. That is Mr. Kejriwal's statement, not anybody else's. Rok do parade ko. Main arajak hu. I'm an anarchist. Imagine that you swear by the Constitution, take the oath of the Constitution, and you say that the Republic Day parade, the day India becomes a republic, on 26 January 1950, when the Constitution is born, you say let us disrupt that, which is the symbol of constitutionalism. Then Mr. Kejriwal comes and takes an oath at Ram Leela and says, record karo mobile pe. Koi आदमी जो है पैसे मांगे, घूस मांगे, record करो. हम एक व्यक्ति को लाएंगे जो चयन करके, कोई गलत आदमी नहीं लाएंगे पार्टी में. हर आदमी को हम देखेंगे कि अच्छे आदमी होंगे. And then his own party colleagues had to be thrown out, or he left them. Can I comment? He left the party because there was a complete U-turn for Winnipeg. Then after that, what happens? You come to government. I will not take a home for myself. I will take a small car. He used to have a Wagon-R. Then he built a Sheesh Mahal. He wants he has now a convoy, as we see in Punjab while going to see the flood victims. Can I respond now? You have a convoy bigger than anything else. So officials have to leave their work. Go ahead. Then further, you have corruption cases against everyone. And you say, Janta ki awaaz suno. Janta ne aapko hata diya. Janta to aapse tang hokar hatai hai aapko. What is this duplicity?
Can I respond?
Anmol, even so, despite all of the things Nalin has said, Arvind Kejriwal and Atishi's government was voted out. It was not booted out. It was voted out. That is the process that makes India great. I only wish that India's responsible political parties never hope for mobocracy in our country. I want to bring in General Bakshi at this stage. And Akhil Swami. Because while General Bakshi has been a critic of the Oli government,
Arnab ji, mujhe bolne to dijiye.
You want to respond to Nalin? All right, I will let you. The two panelists have not spoken, so I wanted to go to them.
Yes. People want.
Just briefly, you can respond to Nalin if you wish.
People must hear the reality.
Yes. आपको बुलाया है, मैं आऊँगा आपके पास 2 मिनट में.
10 seconds.
Go on.
Let me expose his duplicity and hypocrisy. Modi ji jab aaye the na, he said that I'll put all the corrupt behind bars. 25 Narendra Modi certified corrupt. whom he called from the rallies, वो आज सारे भाजपा में हैं. He said, आपकी राष्ट्रवादी सरकार जिसमें सारे राष्ट्रवादी हैं, उनके 3 नाम बताता हूं. ध्रुव सक्सेना, बीजेपी आईटी सेल का मेंबर, लश्कर तैयबा का आतंकवादी. मोहम्मद सोहेल, बीजेपी माइनॉरिटी मोर्चा का जो तेलंगाना का आपका पदाधिकारी है, आईएसआई का अधिकारी. तालिब हुसैन शाह, फॉर्मर आईटी एंड सोशल मीडिया इंचार्ज मोर्चा जम्मू कश्मीर में, वो लश्कर तैयबा का आतंकवादी. ये राष्ट्रवादी.
One minute. Now you see.
They got arrested.
They got arrested. He's made a point there. Nalin, thank you. Nalin, quickly can counter, then I go to the other panelists.
Smart cities. Gurgaon देख लो, smart city.
No, you have to do not.
Absolutely, these people got arrested.
Do not.
I mean, you didn't even sack. I mean, imagine you didn't even sack your own deputy chief minister while he was in jail.
You promised.
I mean, imagine you run a government from the jail.
किसानों की एमएसपी दुगनी की जाएगी. आपके नेता ने वादा किया.
Ladies and gentlemen.
अच्छा, let me tell you on किसान, ये पराली जलाने के लिए क्यों नहीं कर रही पंजाब की सरकार? 2 मिनट में हट जाएगी दिल्ली की प्रॉब्लम. पराली को क्यों नहीं बंद करें? हमारे पास टेक्नोलॉजी है. हमारे पास टेक्नोलॉजी है पराली जलाने के लिए. What happened when your government is there? Did Delhi stop breathing bad air?
के लिए है उनका लोन.
Okay, now I want to bring in on the seriousness General Bakshi and Akhil Swami. Please. Because General Bakshi, it has become a habit of some politicians and political activists to say, just see what happens in India. Almost like a threat. And Akhil Swami is one of them. Akhil Swami is one of them. He says a fire will spread in India. You just see what we will do. I'm speaking about Akhil and GD Bakshi.
नहीं पहले मुझे बोलने दीजिए, वरना
Don't behave like a
you are behaving in a very erroneous manner.
Don't behave like a rioteer on my program.
You are behaving and you are giving 3-4 times every speaker and you are not giving.
No, I am coming to you when General Bakshi is not spoken.
You are not coming. Either give me chance or I leave.
Yeah, it's all right. Don't behave like a member of a lynch mob.
No, either give me chance or I leave.
No, don't behave like a lynch mob member.
No, you are behaving like a child. You are creating anarchy in this debate also. Either you allow me to speak or I leave.
Achha, speak, yeah. Don't complain so much, please.
Yes. You have given very wrong statements. In Nepal, even the studios of the Godi media have been burnt. And the journalists have been chased. Not only Supreme Court, and I don't want that to happen in India. I want a peace and a tranquil state in my country. I don't want anything to happen in my motherland. But the way my youths are being treated, they are not given employment, and the RSS people are placed everywhere. And the way Godi media is behaving, and the Godi media is creating anarchy in the country. So you are responsible for creating anarchy in this nation. You are trying to make narratives, and you are now exposing the foreign policy of the country. You are saying China is with Pakistan, America is with Pakistan. Then who is with India? And your total policy. So what happened in Sri Lanka? What happened in Bangladesh? What happened in Nepal?
Have you quite finished?
Please take care of the youth.
Have you quite finished?
Give MSP to the farmers. Give money to Punjab, Himachal Pradesh.
Can I also have my say?
Don't give step paternity treatment to Punjab and Uttarakhand.
I'll just close it.
You are giving everything to Gujarat. Arnab, you are responsible for creating anarchy.
Okay, Jal Bakshi, I'm just don't quarrel with him. I'm dealing with it.
Oh yeah, I am also on the panel.
Akhil Swami, 1 minute. Jal Bakshi.
By the way, you are not the only guy who can raise his voice, right? I can raise it quite loud. I have also been equally much more patient than you have been.
अरे बच्चों को नौकरी दिलवाइए जनरल बख्शी, किसानों को एमएसपी दिलवाइए, पंजाब डूब रहा है उसको पैसा दिलवाइए, पीएम केयर फंड का पैसा दिलवाइए, पंजाब मर रहा है उसको पैसा नहीं दे रहे हैं मोदी जी.
और कुछ नहीं, और कोई लिस्ट है?
लाठियों से पिटे जा रहे हैं.
और कोई लॉन्ड्री लिस्ट है तेरे पास?
हर जगह आ रही है.
और कोई लॉन्ड्री लिस्ट है तेरे पास? नाउ कैन आई हैव माय से? नहीं, आप बड़े चिल्ला रहे थे कि मेरे को बोलने नहीं दिया गया.
आप उसमें पर्सनल अटैक
मेरे को बोलने दीजिए.
I'm not talking against you, जनरल बख्शी. You are making personal attack on me.
मेरे को बोलने दीजिए. जरा
आप बोलिए, लेकिन मेरे को पर्सनल अटैक मत कीजिए.
मैं आपको ये बताना चाहता हूं पर्सनल अटैक मत कीजिए, जो बोलना है। ये 10वीं बड़ी इकोनॉमी थी 2014 में, आज ये चौथी बड़ी इकोनॉमी है और तीसरी बड़ी इकोनॉमी तक जा रही है। ये
142 करोड़ में जो
जेल बख्शी लाउड ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में जो हमने, अबे बकवास मत कर, चिल्ला मत, मेरे को भी चिल्लाना आता है अच्छे से।
ये तो मिसबिहेव कर रहा है।
तमीज अगर औरों से मांग रहा है तो दूसरों को तमीज दे।
ये मिसबिहेव कर रहा है।
जब दूसरों को तमीज दे। मैंने कुछ नहीं बोला जब आप बोल रहे थे। बड़े पेशेंटली सुना है।
गालियां मत दीजिए, या नेशनल चैनल पे है, गालियां मत दीजिए।
ये मुल्क, इसकी इकोनॉमी 10वीं बड़ी इकोनॉमी से चौथी बड़ी इकोनॉमी तक आ गई है, तीसरी बड़ी इकोनॉमी पार करने वाली है। ये एक सरकार है जो अपने लोगों के प्रति संवेदनशील है, जागरूक है, हर कोशिश कर रही है। वी आर अ न्यूक्लियर पावर, वी आर अ स्पेस पावर ऑफ कॉन्सिक्वेंस, वी आर अ मिलिट्री पावर ऑफ कॉन्सिक्वेंस। अभी पाकिस्तान के हमने परखच्चे उड़ाए हैं दुनिया के सामने, इसलिए लोग हमसे चिढ़े हुए हैं, इसलिए लोग बड़ा हमसे गश खाए हुए हैं कि हिंदुस्तान एक ताकत के रूप में ना उभर सके।
हमारा डंका,
और इसके चलते वो हर हथकंडे यहाँ चलाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि भारत की उभरती शक्ति को रोका जाए। ठीक है साहब, रोका जाए। और यहाँ बड़े सारे जयचंद की औलाद बैठे हैं, यहाँ बड़े सारे मीर जाफर बैठे हैं, बिकाऊ लोग, सुन लिया, बिकाऊ लोग बैठे हैं कि मेरे को 2 पैसे, मैं बिकने को तैयार हूं, मैं वेश्यागिरी करने को तैयार हूं। ठीक है, और कोई फौजी भाषा में भी आपको नहीं समझ आता हो तो मैं समझा दूं आपको। ये देश तरक्की कर रहा है और इसके लिए इसके दुश्मन बहुत हैं। मोदी जी ने साफ कह दिया है कि मैं अपने देश के इंटरेस्ट नहीं बेचूंगा। आई एम टोटली विद हिम, आई एम टोटली विद मोदी जी when he takes a stand against Donald Trump. We are not the 51st state of the United States. We are not a colony of the United States.
Oh yeah.
अगर United States हमको डराने की कोशिश कर रहा है, it can try. Let it give it a try. This is not any banana land. This is not a banana country. All right? This is a civilizational state with over 9,500 years of history. We have suffered 200 years of colonialism on the basis of
Anmol and Pradeep want to respond. General Bakshi,
we are not prepared.
Pradeep and then Anmol want to respond to you.
That kind of a tamasha. Just because people want to sell us out. Sell us out. बिक जाने को तैयार हैं बहुत सारे लोग यहाँ, और बड़ी कम कीमत है साहब, कीमत बड़ी कम है।
प्रदीप,
अमेरिका के तलवे चाटने के लिए आसिम मुनीर से कंपटीशन।
Pradeep of the Samajwadi Party is coming in now, please.
Okay, just 2-3 quick points. The senior members are in the panel, so most respectfully I'll say 2-3 points. One thing, of course, we are 3rd and 4th largest economy in the world. At the same time, we should not forget the fact that Modi ji has brought down this country to that low that per capita income we are 140. That means richer is getting richer, and poor is getting poorer. That is also.
It is not true. It is not true. First point is, no, I must correct you there. The base of per capita income has been lower. And the trickle-down effect, as anybody knows, takes a little while. You don't present a painful situation that it has been very much on the rise. Please. And Akhil, stop trying to issue threats like you're some lumpen on the streets, Akhil. The language you use sometimes is like a street lumpen. It doesn't show you well.
नेपाल में भी परेशानी हुई है, गोदी मीडिया को सुधर जाना चाहिए।
Yes, listen there, man. The nationalist people of the country are with me. You as this lumpen, this man who talks like a street lumpen. I know Republic is a threat for people like you because we are a strongly nationalist independent media. तो आपके लिए तो हम परेशानी है और रहेंगे, डोंट वरी। अखिल स्वामी, आप जैसे लोगों के लिए हम बहुत बड़े परेशानी रहेंगे। विल बी अ थॉर्न इन योर फ्लेश Anyway,
What I'm
Pradeep
saying
is completing.
Modi
Pradeep.
media should behave properly.
No. What I'm saying is, on the list of per capita income, India stands roughly at 140, 139 or 40. Okay, that is also a fact, and we should we should at
That's
the same
not the
time
point. You
have to do something to
mobocracy is not the answer.
Of our middle class, that is also an important issue.
What do you think? The GST will not help the middle class.
Arnab,
The GST cuts will not help the middle class.
Arnab, you are bringing one.
No, I don't understand. You're being critical for the sake of it.
No, Arnab, this is not the correct way. Either you said India it's not at 140 list, 140.
I mean, India is not going to jump to top 10 in per capita income overnight. It will take some time.
What happened? You are talking about America.
Jyotsna.
Talking about America. What has happened couple of years back when Modi ji was campaigning? At that time, he was.
Pradeep ji, my simple question is, Pradeep ji, kindly listen to me. Kindly listen to me. My simple question is, do you want what has happened in Nepal to be replicated in India? That's what you want? Don't you think my country is stronger? Don't you think my country is powerful? Don't you think we should stand by the country when, situations like this arise? When your neighborhood there is a coup, you want to see the same coup in Bharat? Sir, is this what you want to do as an Indian? Sir, kindly stay with the country. My point is very clear. Mr. Pradeep, my point is very clear. Who are you with? Are you with India or are you with any other country? Sir, my point is very clear. Are you with India or are you with any other country? Don't you see the country is stronger? Don't you see that? Listen.
The rich industries are
there are people in this country who call our Prime Minister by name. But still,
you have to understand.
But still they are outside, roaming on the road, sir. You should understand. India is the most strongest democracy. India is the most strongest democracy. Kindly understand that.
Nobody can deny. That is not TDP.
I mean, I have a simple answer for you on your question of per capita income, and on that, Anmol, maybe I would like to enlighten you as well. One minute. India's per capita income has doubled since Narendra Modi came to power and now. Now, my friend Pradeep may be entirely correct in saying he expects even better of Prime Minister Modi. It has doubled, but he wants it to be triple. But the fact is, it has doubled, and you ought to place it on perspective. Come on now. Come on, Pradeep. Don't falsify things here. No, India's per capita income has doubled. You're still not happy.
Ranking of India. Tell me that.
Chal Bakshi. Ranking, India's per capita income has doubled in 10 years. No, has it doubled in 10 years? Has it doubled in 10 years? Has India's per capita income doubled in 10 years?
What is the point of...
What is the point?
No, tell me.
This is absurd. Jyotsna, now he says, what is the point of doubling?
Let me give you one more fact.
Let them be Indian. Let them be Indian, sir.
Come on, stand up for your country.
What's your problem? Why do you have so much hate on the country?
How much?
Bharat ji aapka hate.
No. Per capita income increased 2.5 times in UPA. Now,
well, it is in now. Oh my God! Now you say you're the Japan. Nalin Kohli is on the last 1 minute of the debate. Nalin.
I have to say this, that these are unfortunately they are prophets of doom. They cannot celebrate anything good that happens in India because they are out of power. For them, it is power for their personal greed. Only we are in power, so the country is good. If we are out of power, we will not celebrate India becoming the fourth largest economy from the 10th largest.
Okay.
We will not celebrate that today 56 crore people have bank accounts. We will not celebrate that today the country is
Ladies and gentlemen, members of the Nationalist Collective, we must be together. The danger is real. The government may or may not say it, but Republic will. Never in India, we say never in India. Never ever in India. Anmol, Jal Bakshi, Anmol, 10 seconds, Anmol.
I have, Jai Hind, General Bakshi, you said about economy. Let me tell you, India ranks 124th
There he is going to read some paper given to him by
of Education and Healthcare.
Yeah, dekho. This is the whole thing.
10 seconds. No, these are facts. These are how.
What facts? Is anything good? Do you see anything good?
Don't disclose to.
I mean, I'm sorry. What was the base we started it when the BJP took over from the Congress? Yeah, come on, Jal Bakshi. Jal Bakshi, last 10 seconds. Jal Bakshi, close it.
Let me complete.
In conclusion, Jal Bakshi, two windows on the screen.
No.
The European.
Jal Bakshi, go on.
You know, I've heard you. Can you hear me now?
Can I complete?
Can I have a say, sir? There are just 10 seconds left.
Yeah.
There are just 10 seconds left. Can I also have my say? India has a population of 1.4 billion. In statistical terms, you will always be on the per capita calculations. You will be always low.
Correct.
Because you have 1.4 billion.
Even Jal Bakshi understands that better than you, ladies and gentlemen. We say tonight that what has happened most unfortunately in Nepal should never be repeated in any other country. And for us, as members of the Nationalist Collective here on the Republic Media Network, our job is to make you alert. The threat is real. Stay united, India. Never in India. Never in India will we let things like that happen. See you tomorrow. Good night and goodbye.
For a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
जब मुंबई से वापस कोल्हापुर शिफ्ट हुआ तो सबने कहा कि ड्रीम सिटी को छोड़ रहा है। ड्रीम सिटी, मैंने कहा ड्रीम में तो यही गलियां आती। तो जब ये रियलाइज हुआ कि कुछ बड़ा करने के लिए बड़े शहर में रहने की जरूरत नहीं, तब लगा कि लाइफ में ग्रो किया।
SIP करो, इन्वेस्ट करो, लाइफ में ग्रो करो।
प्रतिभूति बाजार में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। निवेश करने से पहले सभी संबंधित दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
I choose a world where we dream and the limit is the sky, and this world is my home where I'm living my best.
Mindfully crafted home decor fabrics. Sansar, a D-Decor brand. Live consciously.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड, मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है, अरे मेरे राजा। सबका राजा आर मसाला।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड, मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
In the heart of the jungle,
roams the finest creature. And through the chaos of the sparkling city lights, I am reminded of the timeless valor of the majestic tiger. In life's wild journey, we have one shot to thrill. And when done flawlessly, we unwind and allow our spirits to rejuvenate. Royal Ranthambore, India's finest, yet.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है, अरे मेरे राजा। सबका राजा आर्नब मसाला।
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
On the show tonight, why this rubbish about this being a Gen Z protest in Nepal is absolutely untrue and the greatest falsehoods. This is mobocracy at its worst. And at 9 o'clock tonight, why some evil people in India want what happened in Nepal and Bangladesh to be repeated on the streets of New Delhi. But we say, hashtag never in India. And ladies and gentlemen, some people are calling what has happened in Nepal fashionably a Gen Z protest. What nonsense is this? Look at the words they use. Gen Z protest. They say 19 dead. The BBC writes 19 dead after Gen Z protests erupt. And India Yesterday media group says all about the move that sparked Gen Z revolution. Somebody says, who is Balen Shah, Gen Z protesters' favorite for Nepal Prime Minister? You see, ladies and gentlemen, this is also a deliberate strategy. Call killers, murderers, Gen Z, and try and give some kind of a moral legitimacy to it all. I call them a lynch mob. For a lynch mob they are and nothing else, ladies and gentlemen. 4 visuals which will prove to you what I'm talking about. First, full frame. Nepal's former Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba being beaten and later last minute rescued from the clutches of these people and taken away. Visual number 2, ladies and gentlemen. The wife of a former Prime Minister, Jalanath Khanal, set ablaze, succumbs to her burns, burnt alive by the people the boring broadcasting corporation calls Gen Z protesters. How cool is it to say that these killers and murderers are Gen Z? Visual number 3. And this is a lynch mob, nothing but a lynch mob. Nepal's finance minister, seen running on the streets, ladies and gentlemen, as people chase him, punched and kicked in the video. Ladies and gentlemen, another visual out there of a man being beaten to death by the lynch mob. This visual of Nepal's finance minister running on the street stripped of his clothes, people being killed and hammered, their skulls being broken, on the streets of Kathmandu by a murderous lynch mob. But there are some fools, some absolute fools, malicious fools, who call this, ladies and gentlemen, who say that this is a Gen Z protest. It's not, it's madness, and it should be called madness. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an anti-democracy lynch mob. We should be very careful about what has happened, because all institutions are being set ablaze in Nepal. And we have some fools in India, some malicious fools who say that what happened in Nepal should happen in India. Let me show you the visuals. The parliament of Nepal, ladies and gentlemen, broken into and set on fire. And yet there are some people in India who say this